folks.
Yeah.
The 400 hitter, we ever going to see it?
Boy, I thought Olerud was going to do it last year because he's so disciplined at the plate, a lot more disciplined than I ever was at the plate. I'd swing the balls up here if I thought I could hit them and hit them hard, but, you know, I got to say we're going to see one, mainly because I don't want to be the last guy to come close. I think that's patting myself on the back a little bit too much, but someday someone's going to come along, and obviously it's going to be a guy that has a type of year like I had. Be injured. I missed 45 games that year, so all I had to do was hit 400 for 117 games. I didn't have to do it for 150, 160. Yeah, I missed it by 5 hits, and the pressure, you know, it's got to be someone that can go ahead and talk about it before and after, because the media is tough. But I was able to block all that out once the game started. I really was. I didn't think about it until the last 2 weeks of the season.
To your credit, no one has hit 390. That's the best batting average in the latter half of this century, so not too bad either. What's the weirdest thing about the pine tar thing? I know you talked it just sick to your stomach, but is there any one weird observation you had? After all these years, what's the strangest thing about that incident?
Well, the one thing, the best thing about the pine tar incident was, and still is to this day, it took all the heat off the hemorrhoids I had in the '80 World Series. I used to be remembered until that for the guy with the hemorrhoids. Now I'm remembered for the guy with too much pine tar.
That's right.
Now I would gladly trade in too much pine tar for hemorrhoids any day of the week. So it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. The funniest thing about that was Gaylord Perry was on our team, and Gaylord was a collector. Gaylord liked to collect things, you know. And Gaylord wrestles the bat out of Tim McClellan's hand. You know, Tim McClellan's, what, 6'5", 240 pounds? Gaylord was going about 6'5", 280 then, you know. So they get in a wrestling match over this bat, and Gaylord gets it. And then the umpires start chasing him, and the security people from New York on the field start chasing Gaylord. He, in turn, throws the bat to Steve Ranko, who, in turn, throws it to Hal McRae. They're playing hot potato keep away from the umpires, running up the runway, and I could hear on the security guards on the field, okay, someone block off the locker room. They got the bat. They're running up the runway.
A roadblock.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. We were trying to steal the evidence.
Unbelievable.
But that's the funniest thing about it.
2 last comments. I'm going to ask you to fill in the blank, and you come up with whatever you want to. To play the game at this level, talent is enough, but you need what else?
The love. The love and the dedication to be the best. And that's another reason why I retired. I was not content hitting 260. I was not content driving in 75 runs. I was not content driving to the ballpark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon saying, I'd rather be playing golf. You got to love the game in order for you to perform. And I think that's why, that's one place where I think a lot of people are guilty playing in the major leagues. They don't love it.
Fill in this one. I'm more sure than ever that
oh, boy.
I'm more sure than ever that I what? What are you sure you know now about yourself at 40 and going to be 41?
That I can be a good, faithful husband and a good father.
That's good. Okay. What people will never understand about me is what?
What people
will never understand about me is what?
Is that I was very intimidated defensively on the baseball field.
Really?
For a long, long time, it was, boy, I hope they don't hit it to me. I hope they hit it to him.
Wow.
But I put up a good front. And at the same time, I was always very, very confident in that little box, you know, standing to the left of home plate, that I can say this very honestly, that every time I walked up there, I thought I was going to get a hit. Never did I think I was going to make an out. I made over 7,000 of them, but I went up there with that approach every at-bat.
George Brett from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. We'll come back with more after this. Now, this is where it all took place, George. This is it. This is third base, Kauffman Stadium. You wore number 5. That's Brooks Robinson's number. That's like something that should be up enshrined somewhere, and it is. So you're wearing 5, and you're playing a position that you just admitted to me was not the most comfortable position to be in.
It took about 10 years for me to have confidence in my defensive ability. And there was a lot of times, Roy, in all honesty, with 30,000, 40,000 people, you know, I'd be standing out here with my glove, and I'd be going, please hit it to Freddie. Hit it to Freddie Potek, that little guy standing over there. Or hit it to UL, or, oh, better yet, hit it to Frank. We knew Frank White could catch it, you know.
Those gold gloves.
But it was really strange, because I thought of myself more as a one-dimensional player than I did as a defensive and offensive player. But in '85, I won a gold glove, but up until '85, I played third base a lot like this. I'd be down here, and I'd have my glove, and the guy would hit me a ground ball, and I'd go like this, and next thing you know, I'd be like this.
Now, do you have any great memories of this bag?
In the '85 playoffs against the Blue Jays, with Damaso Garcia on third, and Lloyd Mosby was hitting, Saberhagen was pitching, he threw a ball outside, and I came over here and catch it, backhand it, you know, right about here, and then jumped up in the air and threw off balance and barely got him at home plate. And that was the game we came back, the third game, when we came back. It was probably the greatest game I ever played in my life, and that's why I remember it.
You know, it's interesting, you didn't kiss third base, you kissed home plate. You were a lot more comfortable at home.
That was a lot better place than me than this place. And that was even worse to me over than third base. Yeah, oh man. First base was hard.
Was throwing the ball.
For me, catching the ball was easy, but throwing it was always the hardest part. They had jokes going around when I first came up that when I'd come up the bat, all the people over here would wear helmets, because I was learning to hit like Charlie Lau. You know, I was inside out and everything and hitting a lot of foul balls over here. Then when I would come out to play defense, they would pass their helmets over there because I would launch one or two, you know, a month into the seats. You know, you look at the errors I made. I bet I made 250, 200, maybe 300 errors. Wow. They were saying early in my career that I was going to be the first guy to make 3,000 errors and get 3,000 hits.
What do you love about this place? I mean, you played your career here. I mean, this is where it all happened.
Well, I mean, what is there not to like about it? I mean, this is beautiful, isn't it? It's a different, see, I think Fenway Park is beautiful. I think Camden Yards is beautiful. I have yet to see Jacobs Field and the new ballpark in Arlington. I thought Wrigley Field was awesome. I went there last year for the first time,
right,
and saw the Cubs play. But this, to me, is a completely different type of beautiful. And it's even going to be more beautiful next year when we put real grass in and move the fences in about 10 feet. Yeah. That's when I make my comeback. I'm making my comeback then, because I've had 5 knee surgeries and shoulder surgery, and a lot of it's because of this turf. And, wow. And when they put the grass in, I'm going to start feeling a little bit better, maybe make a comeback.
George Toma will be happy too, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Hey, again, George.
Okay. Well, thank you, Roy.
Thanks
okay.
again, and thanks for all your help. For
no problem.
Great observations, and there's only one George Brett, folks.
Ken's brother.